it's an existential necessity. I mean, freedom in general and freedom of press, because so many of my colleagues paid their lives for the freedom of press.
Freedom of speech and freedom of media, freedom of expression for me, first of all, means being able to not being afraid of wearing press badge while covering events in my country, which unfortunately is not the case for Georgia anymore.
For me, freedom of the press is the ability to hold power to account, whether that's the authorities or big money, corporations, even organized crime, without a fear of retribution.
Для меня свобода слова, свобода.
For me, freedom of speech, freedom of the press is a vital necessity. In addition, it has become my profession. And I believe it is a key story for the independence and freedom of my people.
И свобода моего народа.
When the war started, freedom of press became an essential value and the big difference between us and Russia.
In general, being a journalist means being a criminal in Russia. By just admitting the fact that I work for Istories, I commit a crime, because Istories was proclaimed an undesirable organization in Russia.
Я думаю, что
I believe that if I go back to Belarus right now, I will face arrest and a long prison sentence.
тюремный срок.
For example, in March, Georgian government, the ruling party, started to consider the bill on so-called foreign agents, similar to what Russia had in 2012, like early edition, which would target media outlets like ours, as well as civil society. They would label us as agents.
Georgia now is sliding into autocracy, I would say. Every day, the situation for journalists gets worse. The government is constantly attacking us. Actually, just yesterday, we published a story about how the Speaker of the Georgian Parliament approached our institutional donors and tried to warn them off.
I had a lot of moral dilemmas during this year. The first one, I remember the first days of this war, when we received a list of soldiers who came to Ukraine from our sources and intelligence. And of course, we decided to publish it because I think that in the first days of war, everything can work just to stop it.
Support independent media, support what we do, believe in us, believe that we report truth.
Trying not to be indifferent. Indifference is what's making propaganda so popular, and that's actually what's killing people.
If Russia can keep the situation as it is now, I think there will be dark times for decades for our region and for my country.
Unfortunately, if the current government stays in power, I think we are going to continue the path that leads to where Russia is today or Belarus is today. So I hope this doesn't happen.
My hopes and my ambitions, Ukraine to become a democratic European country with democratic values.
What I hope for is that I would just hope that they see the importance one day of this press, what it does for these countries.